Yeah, my friends, it's Bill McDonald, the reading doctor, this evening, and today I want to work my way through the first part of a poem that I wrote a couple of years ago and convert it into a reading passage. I was noticing that the students were really struggling with reading poems the last couple of years. Let me just show you a little bit of data here next to the poem I wrote. For fourth grade alone, in 2018, 3 out of the 6 questions that were asked of your students, less than 75% of the kids got the question correct. And this past year, 5 out of 6 of the questions got less than 75% correct. In the 9th grade, I was working with them last week and happened to notice that out of the 4 questions, they got half of them got less than 75% correct. And in the 10th grade this past year, 4 out of 6, 2/3 of the kids got less than 75%. So I think we need to do a little bit more work in understanding poems, the author's interpretation, being able to inference and read between the lines and draw conclusions. And so sometimes we need to probably dig a little bit deeper, even beyond the questions that are being asked. So I want to do that a little bit. But before I begin, I wanted to show you my reading rules that are similar to the writing rules, except because of main ideas of paragraphs that excuse me, have to be understood. I want to make sure I show you how it's slightly different. Think of the word rules as the checklist that your kids will go through. The R being the appetizer, the U the meat, the vegetables being the L and the E, and the dessert being the S. For quickly, I'll go through it because some of you have already seen it before, if I've worked with you on reading this year. In the trainings, I call this portion the revising training, how to merge the reading and the writing worlds when it comes to revising. The R is read all the sentences, paragraphs, passages, and questions solo, yellow being so, softly when you're with a partner, and solo when you're testing, or loudly if you're doing it in a class or in a group setting. I do recommend for kids who struggle that you read the questions and then you can underline and highlight the important details from those questions inside the passage and of course in the question themselves. Then as they go through the passage, they can label the main idea of each paragraph and what some of you call hashtag. Since hashtagging in Twitter is writing just a few words, usually 5 to 10 words is the limit that you want to stick to, because if you're writing more than that, you're pretty much going to be writing the whole sentence. The E, once they have read, then they begin to evaluate the question and execute the strategies, not ugly. They'll eliminate and explain all their answers after they've begun to incorporate whatever reading strategy they've been shown. They'll S, select the correct answer, show you why it's correct with labeling, search for errors, and last they'll bubble their Scantron. All answers that are odd are A, B, C, D, and all answers that are even will have F, G, H, or J. So, I've written rules. In the acronym it says RUL. We're going to read, underline, and label. So it says on the title, to my teacher, stay for me, the one. So everything ties together in a passage. This is the title, and the topic is, it's basically a persuasive, trying to get the teacher to apparently keep from quitting, just that for that student, even if the entire class or the lesson plans or the administration or other colleagues, there could be a million reasons why a teacher might quit, but this would be the one reason, the student, that he or she might stay. So as we underline, we can label our hashtag with hopefully 5 to 10 words or less, the key words from each, what we call stanza here. Before you quit and walk away, there's one thing I'd like to say. Don't give up because of one. Think of all the hearts you've won. So the hashtag would be just basically, don't quit teaching. The transformations you have made because of all the times you prayed would not have made it without you and all the little things you do. Hashtagging would be, kids can't make it without you and your prayers. Like, hug them as they shed their tears and calming them about their fears. They're grateful for the special way you show them how to face their day. You hug them, you calm them, and you show that you care. So it shows a little bit of the character of the teacher. She's probably a physical person, because some teachers might just say something, but this teacher says something with her arms and probably with her voice. When you calm people down, you probably say something, so you can read between the lines there. Though they might not be GT, through your eyes you helped them see that even though they might not pass, success does not just come in class. So they might not pass, success is not from class. Okay? So although we're led to believe that success and failure is based on your grade, your report card, and your STAR test results, this stanza from the student says, in real life, success has no relevance or comparison to how well you do on one day on a test. Please do not believe the lies. You are a hero in their eyes. You might not wear a cape or mask, but if they knew, I know they'd ask. So basically, you're their human hero. A prayer begins. Lord, please give my teacher grace when she's with you face to face. Grant her wisdom, peace, and strength to keep her burdens at arm's length. And the key words were, Lord, give her wisdom, peace, and strength, if those were the key words of the prayer. For she's the one who's helped me see that I can be a better me. Remind her each and every day that I'm one reason she should stay. So the summary is that I can be better if she stays here in the class. So let's now take a look at the questions. We'll try to do 3 from this video. In line 12, the word face means blank. Part of a person's head, and it said to help them face their day. So a day has nothing to do with your head, so you'll eliminate that one. And you see we've written the rules acronym. So we've read the question, we would underline line 12, we would label the word face, and then we would read it. One side of a three-dimensional figure, I'm going to eliminate that one because they weren't talking about shapes. And this is them explaining the E, why they would eliminate. So we've read already the passage, we've read the question, we've underlined in both places. I'm going to underline line 12. We've labeled the answers, and we're going to eliminate 3. 1, 2, 3 check marks. Look at carefully. If you just look at your day, it's not going to help. So I don't think that that would be the best answer. H and J were the closest ones, but when it says to deal with someone, something, or confront someone or something, that you learn how to handle it, and I think that would make the most sense. So we're going to select S in the book, and then if we pretend to bubble in the Scantron here and put a J again, we can say that we bubbled in the Scantron as well. Number 9, the words one and one are capitalized most likely because the poet wants to blank. Okay, the one similar to this in the 2018 4th grade test was number 27, got 76%. It was 4.4a. Number 8 there came from question 25, and it was 4.2b, got 67% correct. One similar. And let's see the answer choices. To make sure that the reader knows they are spelled differently. Well, since this is a reading lesson and not a spelling lesson, I can eliminate A because it wasn't about spelling. To emphasize the difference between what the two words mean in a poem, words have a lot of meaning in a poem, so that was probably why they did it, because the teacher has one heart. One as in an adjective, how many, and one as in a verb, something that you've done. So that would be the best one. To yell at the reader to make sure he or she is paying attention. No one's even talking in the poem at that point, so we're going to eliminate letter C. To show the reader how to use homophones correctly. Well, homophones again is about spelling, and we know this is not a spelling lesson, this is a reading lesson. So you've read the passage and the question. We've underlined in the passage and in the question. We've labeled in both places. We've now eliminated A, C, and D. We're going to select letter B because the meaning of the two words are very important. Something you've done is one, and how many you've won is one, and that's what really matters. I'm going to try to squeeze this one real quick. On lines 13 through 16, what is the poet? Why does the poet include this portion of the poem? Though they might not be GT, through your eyes you help them see that even though they might not pass, success does not just come in class. To show that GT students have an easier time passing tests, that's only on one line, GT students. To show that success is not just measured by what a score a person gets on the test. 3 lines, lines 14, 15, and 16 do talk about that. The teacher is helping the student to see lessons better. They're not even doing a lesson, so that wouldn't make sense. And the last one, passing a test is the most important thing to focus on in school. Well, on lines 15 and 16, it's talking about the opposite of that. Success just not come in class even though they don't pass. So we need to do the compare and contrast lesson there to tell the difference. So we are going to select letter G, eliminate F, G, H, and J, and then you would write your rules there on the side. So I'll do the rest of the poem in my next lesson with you guys. Thanks and God bless. Please share or tag someone in this poem if they need a little bit of guidance on teaching poems.